Hello everyone and welcome to another Advanced Warfare video. My name's Jay and today we're going to be counting down the top 5 guns in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. For this video we're going to be using frame-rounded fire rates for a 60 frame per second setup rather than the actual coded fire rates that the developers wish the guns had. And we're going to be discussing the try-hard guns, so we're not going to be discussing any kind of pistols or crossbows or snipers or shotguns. Let's get to it. Coming in at number 5 is the Ameli Heavy variant. In the realm of full auto weapons in this game, there are only 2 guns that can kill in 3 shots across the board. The Ameli Heavy and the Ameli Subverter. The reason that I'm choosing the Heavy over the Subverter is because it gets to keep its 100 round magazine, which negates, in my opinion, the possibility of a 2-shot kill if one was a headshot with the Subverter at the expense of 50 rounds, making extended mags almost a necessity. The Ameli Heavy will deal 35 damage at all ranges with absolutely no damage drop, which means that the silencer is a very good attachment for it because it has absolutely no negative effects whatsoever. It fires 600 rounds per minute, which is relatively slow for Call of Duty, but given the 3-shot to kill ranges, it actually ends up having a very nice time to kill, dropping opponents in just 0.18 seconds at any range. All coming at a cost of only 10% worse hipfire accuracy, which is not even going to really be noticeable as you're playing the game. And the fact that this is an enlisted variant, not an elite variant, means that it not only is highly desirable, it is also not very rare. There's a good chance that if you go through your armory, you'll already have it or you'll get it soon. Coming in at number 4 on our list is the ASM1 Magnitude. Combining the 3-hit kill range of an AR with the fire rate of an SMG and low recoil is the definition of overpowered, and this weapon plays that way for sure. A lot of people were probably expecting the ASM1 Speakeasy to be the most powerful ASM1 variant. However, there are a few minor details about this weapon that people are overlooking, making it the best ASM1 in the game and the 4th best gun in the game overall. The Magnitude variant receives a 2-tick buff to range, which equates out to 47 feet compared to the 41 feet of the 3-hit kill range of the Speakeasy. Both weapons fire an initial burst of 900 rounds per minute, meaning the ASM1 Magnitude will drop people at an equal pace up close, while the Magnitude will drop down to 720 RPM after that initial burst, making it more manageable to handle at range. All coming at just the cost of 10% more hipfire spread and 10% ADS time, both of which are pretty negligible because this ASM1 is pretty good at both of those already. But the icing on the cake is you don't even have to get the ASM1 Magnitude through a supply drop. All you have to do is get 300 kills with the ASM1 and you will receive it, as it is the marksman variant of the ASM1. The ARX Hole Puncher comes in at number 3, which is very sad because this had a very good chance of being number 1. The 1-burst kill range of the ARX Hole Puncher is all the way out to 50 meters, which is pretty much as long as you can reasonably expect to engage the enemy in this game. And it has a very fast time to kill of 0.19 seconds within that single burst. The problem with the ARX Hole Puncher is that if you need a second burst to kill your opponent, the time to kill drops all the way down from 0.19 to 0.39 seconds. Unfortunately, that means it falls victim to one of the biggest Achilles heels in this game, and that is the very, very poor hit detection of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. If you are not accurate enough to hit all of your shots in a burst, then this will be a very poor gun for you to use. And unfortunately, if you do not have a connection that will allow you to hit every bullet in the burst, this will be a very bad gun to use. This game has a very hard time keeping up with itself. A lot of bullets fire out of your weapon but disappear between your system and the server and back to your system again. and it results in burst fire weapons requiring more than one burst way too often for them to be number one on the list. Statistically, this probably would have been number one on the list. However, in reality, it's got to come in at number 3 simply because of the inabilities of the game to do it any justice. The Hole Puncher also continues the trend of weapons on this list that are not elite variants. This is actually better than the best elite variant the ARX has, the Steel Bite, simply because the statistics in terms of damage and range are all the same, but the Hole Puncher maintains a very fast fire rate within the burst, whereas the Steel Bite gets a nerf to its fire rate within the burst. The downside to the Hole Puncher is simply the accuracy. The recoil is increased a little bit, but as you can tell just watching the gameplay, there's really no recoil on the Hole Puncher at all. And the regular ARX is a laser beam as far as the eye can see, and that's pretty much true even with the added recoil of the Hole Puncher. Coming in at number 2, we have the RA3 Insanity. The newly buffed RA3 now carries its 3-shot kill range out to 17 meters, and given the increased fire rate of the Insanity, firing an initial burst of 900 rounds and dropping down to only 720 rounds per minute after that, the Insanity becomes an extremely dangerous up-close weapon, beating most of the assault rifles in close quarters. Unfortunately, even though the damage and range means the Insanity should be a pretty effective long-range assault rifle, never requiring more than 4 shots to kill at any range, it ends up being a relatively difficult gun to use at range due to the fact that it forces you to use these very, very poor iron sights that come standard on it and do not let you put on any kind of optics to relieve the headache that is trying to use the RA3 iron sights. However, if you have been lucky enough to receive the RA3 Insanity in any of your supply drops up to this point, and you are not stupid enough to delete it or sell it for experience points, you will be well rewarded, as it is on the list and in the game the second most powerful gun in the game at just about every range. And if you can teach yourself to use these iron sights, they will reward you very heavily for having such a powerful weapon. And the one we've all been waiting for, number 1 on the list of most powerful guns in Advanced Warfare, is, of course, everybody saw it coming, the most predictable number 1 on any list ever, the Ball 27 Obsidian Steed. The strength of the Obsidian Steed is, of course, its 3-shot kill range, carrying 3 shots damage all the way out to 30 meters, which is the longest of any of the fully automatic assault rifles. But the truth is that even the weakness of the Obsidian Steed ends up being a strength of it, because while the Ball 27 standard has very low recoil to begin with, having a reduced fire rate reduces that recoil even further, and given the 3-shot kill range, you're still going to be dropping people up close very, very fast, even with a reduced fire rate. But then it also becomes a very strong weapon at long range, because you have a reduced fire rate, which of course reduces recoil at range. And given that it, yet again, much like a lot of weapons on this list, will never require more than 4 shots to kill an unprotected opponent, it becomes one of the strongest weapons in the game at long range, maintains its status as one of the strongest weapons in the game at close range, and is simply an extremely, extremely, extremely powerful gun. If you have been lucky enough to get the Obsidian Steed, then you know what I'm talking about. Or even if you just walk over and pick it up off somebody's dead body, you can tell the difference instantly that the game simply is less competitive when you have the Obsidian Steed. Thanks for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. The truth is that this is an ever-changing topic with all of the weapon patches coming out, as there's certain weapons that will make it up into the top 5. There are certain weapons that will fall down out of the top 5. And frankly, I'll probably have to remake this video about 5 times before the next Call of Duty comes out, simply because of the fact that it keeps changing. It's a very fluid situation with the top 5 guns in the game. At any rate, don't forget to subscribe for further content, like those future videos where I update this one when new weapon patches come out and make this video obsolete. And until my next video, goodbye, Steve.